Hi, Mr. Fisher. So, for my second outside reading book, I decided to read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So this book is basically him talking about why some people are more successful than others, even if, say, they had the same IQ. Like, for example, he uses two people who had exceptionally high IQs and, like, almost near 200, and one of them was from like a very affluent family. They had a lot of resources and money, while the other one was sort of lonely. He did not have a lot of support. So the one who was lonely ended up just having a farm or something. And the affluent one, Oppenheimer, he actually developed the atomic bomb. So his connections and just his like culture that he grew up in really helped him, even though they were both really smart. Another thing that he talks about is Canadian hockey players, how a lot of the really successful ones who have been drafted to top club teams and top NHL teams have been born in the earlier months, such as January, February, and March, while I think it was only like 10% of the ones have been born in the later months. And he says that this difference is due to the stature of the players. So the bigger ones are seen to have more potential because they were born in the earlier months, so they get more attention, and that's why they are supposedly more successful. Um, I think that like one of the most interesting things was why he thinks that Asians are seen as being really successful and why this success has come to be. And he says this because of the rice paddies that are cultivated in a lot of Asian countries, because the rice paddies are very delicate. They need a lot of like delicate work and precision, and this hard work on the rice paddies in turn goes and transfers into the lives of Asians. So in general they're just naturally like hardworking, and this comes from the cultivation of the rice paddies. Um, he also talks a lot about the 10,000 hour rule, which is basically saying that in order to be an expert on something, you have to work 10,000 hours at least on that um, on that sole area of what you're being an expert in. So he uses this for Bill Gates and himself, actually, because Bill Gates had a lot of access to technology before everyone else. So he was able to be really successful from this exposure. And he himself, Malcolm Gladwell, writes a lot, so he's had at least 10,000 hours just practicing writing, and that's why he's an expert now. I think in general, I would recommend this book. It taught me a lot just about success and just, I mean, a lot of things I didn't know before, such as the 10,000 hour rule, even though that kind of makes sense, but also just about like the Canadian hockey players and the rice paddies, and just in general, I think it's interesting, it's not hard to read, and it's pretty good.